All right. Where where we actually left off. So recapping recapping the craziness that went on, crazy shit that went on last week. Um, so your group added another new member, with Brutus bonding with Alia, actually forming a bond, and they put aside their past differences. And as Alia reclaimed some of the small amount of the feeling and bond she felt as a huge absence with Ivy's recent passing. You all took a long rest, with Brutus, a new member of your party, standing guard. And to a greater or lesser extent, including for one of you at least, you used the toilet like a lot. Um, you nabbed some pretty sweet gems off a dead old guy. You identified some of your new items. You got some cool new shit and traded that amongst, for some of you, traded that amongst you, each of you. You continued some exploration, and in doing that exploration, you rounded a corner into a large room where, with the information you had, you kind of expected that there would be something significant in there, but you weren't expecting what actually faced you, which was a massive silhouette, with a pile of corpses, and that silhouette adding to that pile of corpses that, a couple of you, actually no, all of you with your base perception and the amount of parts are in the pile, identified that in amongst there were at least some partially eaten, goblin corpses, as well as some potentially some other things too. But your attention was mainly focused on that silhouette, and when it stood up and entered the light, was revealed to be a giant mutated form of Phocionis's mother. Turned into a giant of just absolutely epic proportions, wielding a tree trunk as a weapon, boulders strapped to her waist, looking like, almost pebbles by comparison to her size. Uh, and she was the one who threw the remnants of a goblin with a wet meaty thwack up against the wall before, battle was joined. And despite some attempts at reasoning, and her even trying to engage with that, it appeared that something was stopping it from occurring. And she, Mama Fock and Fockionis went into a war of attrition that mainly resulted in them essentially having a Benny Hill fight, missing the shit out of each other in a comical and perhaps subconscious fashion, if I try and put a storyline to it. But in all honesty, it was me sucking ass with my rolls and also stuffing up, one of the spell rulings that resulted in Mama Fock losing about half her health before I rectified that. So after some, let's say temporary paralysis and, the rest of the party deciding to hit rather than shit, Mama Fock went down just as we finished the session. The group milestone to level 5, where technically that won't happen until you have a long rest, but in the interest of time, some of you have already made that level up, and I've synchronized your characters through and made a note of it.
Oh
But
yeah.
I am also happy to formalize it whenever you do take your long rest. But with our 2-hour sessions, I did make a decision to try and kind of just streamline that process a bit and give you guys a week to make your decisions on your characters. And noted that some of you made some changes, others of you just kept the direction that you're traveling. In terms of, notice as well, so Rick, being part of your party, received that milestone level up despite not being here. Ivy has technically received it, but because she is dead, she would need to be resurrected in order to receive that milestone properly. So on the overlay, she is still at a level
Are you
4.
sure? Because
Um,
does the level up give her more HP to be not dead now?
No, she's
Oh,
dead, dude. She
check.
doesn't receive it unless you are
Just
able
checking.
to find a way for her to return to the mortal coil, at which point she will, in
Try that
addition to
then.
receiving the ability to breathe oxygen again, she will also receive some bonuses to her character, and potentially more depending on how long
I've
it
seen
takes
the
to do
Princess
that.
Bride. We can like do
Ah,
things and
well, that's why last week I said she's not just mostly dead.
yeah.
I did slip a Princess Bride
That's
quote in
true
there.
love.
Yeah. That Yeah, she's proper dead.
Right.
She's all the way dead. So where we pick up the menagerie is still huddled back around where you left them, outside the bathroom, outside the dungeon toilet. The corpse of Mama Fock has literally just hit the ground. There is varying degrees of injuries and absolutely no injuries amongst your party, because she did a terrible job and didn't manage to actually hurt any of you, despite being massive, imposing, and would have hit like a fucking Mack truck if she could have just landed like a single strike.
It's the Fockiana
She was
way.
ready to she was ready to fuck some shit up. So as we come in and as that body hits the floor with the end of that battle, the life has left her, and you saw Phocyonis that a very familiar red collar has fallen from her left hand, a hand that she didn't open throughout the entire duration of that battle. It something, that falls from her hand onto the ground, and you recognize that collar as belonging to your beloved companion Hades. Um, and as that happens, and as the life leaves her, and that the hand unclenches, the body that takes up so much of that space just starts to lighten, and then with a swirl of motes of apparent energy, does like a little mini tornado and then just dissipates, leaving behind a couple of items on the ground, in addition to that collar. But the body itself, unlike anything else you've encountered so far and the other constructs in the dungeon, is gone. With a few things left behind, and with the body disappearing, the final thing that occurs that we ran out of time for last week that I need to move is at either end of the hallway, so just near you, and also down the far end behind, where you saw flames flickering from a circular hole in the ground. The mirror slides gratingly across, revealing an open doorway, and there is also one behind you. Sorry, behind you, near you, that is, the mirror slides and also reveals an open doorway. That circle that was flickering with flame is now a portal that you are now extremely familiar with, and it is a very large, round version of that portal. What would you guys like to do?
Well, first of all, I'm shocked at seeing my mother disappear, and so Phocyonis turns towards where the ember of light and spinning disappearingness is and goes, "Mama, ooh, didn't mean to make you cry." And then he runs over there, like sees Moody's collar,
Oh,
picks it up. And he's on his knees and he's holding his hand and he's like, "Hades, Hades."
I'm sorry for your loss, Phocyonis.
Well, what is, I don't understand what happened. There, it wasn't her, but it was her. And then she gone. What the fuck? What's going on? Let's get out of this place.
Phocyonis, as you're I didn't anticipate having tears in my eyes from laughter as I was as this happened. As you're rubbing that collar, up against your face, and you're trying to get the last remnants of the smell of your little companion, and also getting quite a large waft of whatever your mother became, you feel something almost like a paper cut, cutting into your eyelid as you're rubbing that collar, and lamenting on your knees. There appears to be something tucked into it that is ran across your eyelid in a rather uncomfortable fashion.
Oh, fuck. What was that? Something got me. What's this? It's paper. What's it
Hey,
doing on
Arnie,
top?
rather than
Grumpy paper.
Oh, I'm doing the best.
you go get to the chopper. So pulling that piece of paper out, you find that it's actually partially, slipped into some torn stitching of the collar itself. And what initially is really familiar, your mother's handwriting, regardless of the complicated relationship you guys shared, you are very familiar with that handwriting, and it starts off really clearly, hers, but it appears like she's used anything that she could get her hands on with whatever was happening with her, to end up where she was. And it just so it starts off as that really clear script that she had, but by the end of the note, it is just it is it is it is waving, it is uneven. The letters are much larger than what they were, and shaky and hard to make out. But it reads, "I'm so sorry. I tried. They took Hades." And then as the letters start to fall apart, you think it says it appears to say something like "so much pain," and that's the entirety of the note that was inside that collar.
Gosh,
That's just a bit horrifying.
that's quite sad. What does this mean? Well, I mean,
I mean,
does
she
that mean I
died a
hate to be out
peaceful
there somewhere?
death.
Like,
And-
Mama clearly is better off this way because
Yeah.
that I don't know what the heck that was, but it was not my mama.
No, it wasn't.
We'll go to find my Hades.
Exactly. Hope the same thing didn't happen to him, eh?
Don't be fucking saying things. I'm doing that.
I know, I'm sure he's fine.
You're gonna have to lift your gun.
You do also know, all of you see that as that body dissipates, probably the other two of you more than Phocyonis, as he's quite fixated on there's the overwhelming emotion that he's currently experiencing, both with the backlash from his mum and also his little beloved companion. That when that body disappeared dissipated into those motes of light, the giant belt that was around her waist shrunk down to a more normal proportions, but is laying essentially in the same position where it fell, where she fell. And what you couldn't see that must have been appears to have been tucked underneath her leather armor, or a hodgepodge of leather armoring. There also appears to be some kind of amulet or necklace that has fallen as well, that's been left behind when she did whatever that was, where she disappeared.
Alright, let's grab him and keep going.
All right, so
Do-
Zachary
do you want-
grabs
Left
those.
or right?
Yeah, I'll write them in Zachary's inventory.
Yeah, so you've got a belt and an amulet. You don't know, no clue as to what they are at this point. You can see what they are, obviously, in the loot pile, but I just had to put that in there for record keeping purposes. But you have currently an unidentified amulet and belt.
Alright.
So Zachary has scooped those up. Yeah. So you've come through. I'm actually just going to disappear her because she takes up now the ping's decided it's going to work. An ungodly amount of space. So to grab those, you would have finished up. That's where her neck was. So just to reiterate, the mirrors slid. So Zachary, you can now see, like, this requires no checks. There is a huge pile, like at least 15 feet or higher, much taller than you, at least twice as tall as you, of bodies.
Holy
Just
shit.
I'd say stacked, but they're not, just piled against that wall. And it's not so much bodies as torn apart, dismembered remnants of body parts that are right beside you. As you noticed before, that clearly some goblins, mostly goblins in there. A couple limbs that look like maybe they're dwarven. The boots are a bit bigger, but they're quite destroyed.
Jeez.
Mama be not
Damn
eating
it.
protein. Is there an opportunity for us to be searching through the remnants of whatever the fuck?
You
that
can
nameless
do
pile
that.
is?
I'm not.
I ain't sniffing no corpses.
You you can
That's
You
where
can
I
have a
draw
dig.
the line.
That's fair.
You
I
gonna
don't even
have a
have a
look?
soundbite ready yet, damn it.
Are you going to have a look?
Good thing I don't need to go.
Well, what would you like to do? Sorry, Pocahontas, because you're the one who had a
Look, I will use my javelin to sort of, loosely poke around, but I'm not overly keen on hitting piles of
All right.
semi-formed
As
goblins.
you're doing it, look, you're giving it a half-assed
Yes,
poke around. I won't even get you to actually no, do a roll, do an investigation roll.
I would love to.
But
Investigation.
don't know how this is going to go.
My -1 modifier. Yes, let's go.
20. Go.
Does 18 make me accidentally stumble upon something?
Wow. Look, as you 18.
19
right.
-1. Let's go.
Yep, you
Yeah. Magic
unexpectedly.
items come
So
up.
as
Big early fuck.
you're poking through, you there's so much gore and ichor, and it disappears to have gone on over like a bit of a period of time because the corpses towards the bottom are quite rotted compared to the fresh ones at the top, including the what appears to be a leg and half a torso that hit the wall with that meaty thwack when you walked around the corner not that long ago, even though it feels like a week or more has passed. But as you're poking through with your javelin, you notice two things. That there's not a lot left behind on those bodies. You do dislodge a couple of two giant teeth.
Oh,
That with that 18, you are extremely confident that in the battle with your mum, and as she was trying to talk to you, you did notice that that there were a couple of gaps in her teeth, but you didn't really register at the time. But now you're piecing it together that it looks like in her hunger, she has dislodged a couple of her teeth, and it has been left in some of these bodies. So there are two hill giant teeth. And you also pick up on with that incredible for you investigation roll that um, there's been a suspicious absence that you hadn't really picked up on until now, with just a moment of clarity as you're poking in this corpse pile with your javelin, that apart from those couple of dwarven looking creatures you encountered right back at the start, you've come across a shitload of traps, but there's been very few actual bodies or creatures that you've encountered in this dungeon. It looks like whether deliberately or by accident, it looks like your mum has certainly cleared away quite a few of the inhabitants and
Mum has been taking care of business.
taking care of business.
Good on her.
Didn't expect to be sharing that with you, but at 18, that's incredible. There you go. You get two giant
Look
teeth.
forward to the 17 ones that will follow.
No, that was me last week. So watch out if I have to roll tonight. It'll be all fucking 20s.
No,
That's the swings and
we-
roundabouts that seem to happen in this group. All right.
All right. Well, I guess I add the two giant teeth to my inventory.
I don't know if they're I think they'll be a custom item, but
Okay. Yeah, I've had
that's your call, man. You can leave them there. You can take your mum's teeth. That's up to
I
you.
might take one. I'll take one, leave one. There we go.
All
I
right.
can make mum's tooth necklace. It's like a shark's tooth, but shitter.
I'm interested to see where that goes.
Well, stay tuned for more.
Does anyone else want the other mum's tooth?
No.
Like
Nah,
this
I'm
thing's
good.
huge. Like as you're trying to
Look
shove
at
it in
you,
the sack,
Leah,
like
come on.
it barely fits. Like when you pick that up, it is as large across almost as your shoulders,
could
Hokiana.
use
So
it
it
to-
barely fits
Use them to set off
into your sack.
What traps?
All right. So one mum's
If we
tooth.
find any more, we
do you
can
mean?
use it. No. Surely there aren't many more traps.
Wait, there's traps? Oh,
Have we finally found something that Alia won't scavenge? Is that what I just heard there before?
feel like
Yeah.
we have.
Good to know. All right.
Right, next
So,
level
yeah.
is all like rotting corpses everywhere.
Yeah, fun teeth.
We'll have to wait and see. But so you are very convinced that you have gotten as much as you can get from that gore, like pile of gore and and disgust.
All right. Well, I'm ready to move on. I want to find Hades.
All right. Which
So
way do
which
we
way
want
we
to go
going,
then?
Deep?
So, like, there's the portal that'll take us to the next level. I assume. Well, it looks like what would take us to the next level. And then there's the two mirrors on either side of the room have moved. So which way do you want to go? One at the far side or the one at the near side?
Or do we want to? Well, I mean, I guess time check is the thing that we need to be ever
Mate,
present.
all this happened really rapidly, so I can tell you that at this point, because you're aware of how long you rested for, and you've got a reasonable idea between pretty limited intelligence in your party, but you're pretty like it's honestly nearly the same as when you asked me last time because you've walked around that corner and that whole encounter was over so rapidly.
Right, so
You are, you're a touch over 12 hours.
You there yet?
yep. All right. So yeah, the one at the far side, like past the portal, you reckon? Have the treasure in?
Sure, why not?
But yes, some good stuff. I might find
Right.
Hades there.
Who's doing what and how are you doing it?
Right. It's like walk like around the portal.
All right, so Zach, as you hit the point where you are currently there, you see a moment too late that all too familiar red glowing rune that you've become quite aware of at different times throughout your experiences in this dungeon. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Right.
As you set off two arrow traps opposite each other.
Just one saving throw. 14.
No, I'll get you to make two because the first trap sets off the second, so make two.
Yeah, 14, and then 12.
Ooh.
Okay, so with the 14, you make the save, so you only take half damage, but with the second one you do not. So as you dodge, duck, dive, and dip, and continue your pattern of setting off every single trap that you can in the dungeon, let's grab the D4.
It's called like keeping information secret.
No, so the first one you take 2 damage, luckily, because I rolled a 4 on the D4 for the first one that you take half of. And for the second one, okay, the second one you take full damage of 1. So a total of 3 damage as those arrows, as you try and too late move out of the way, you are partially struck, some deflection, but some get through. You take 3 points of piercing damage.
Why would they put traps over the portal? Arsos. Alright, I'll check for more traps ahead of me.
Yeah. And now that you are aware of the traps, you do note, because you know exactly what you're looking for. So I won't even make you roll for that. You note that those gems, you can see that there is one right near you, and you think you can kind of make out the faint glow of one at the other end of the hallway, but it appears that one trap sets off another because there was a slight delay in the setting off of what you just experienced. But you can definitely see the gem in the wall a few feet from where you're currently standing.
Okay, can I try casting like firebolt at it to
Go
set
for
it
it.
off?
Go and cast fireball at it. Go for it.
That's my rapier. So wrong roll. But it's the same anyway. 22. 22 to hit.
Yeah. Just for shits and giggles, roll the damage because it fucking hits. Let's just see what happens to it.
The 9.
Yeah, man. The gem doesn't so much wink out as just become obliterated into gem dust. It's gone. And that trap, you are extremely confident the one right next to you has been disarmed. You took out the. I'll make it show up so you can actually see it. That's the one you just took out. That's what you noticed, and that's what you destroyed. So it's gone.
So the one on the far side still needs to.
Yeah, the one on the far side, you can, because you know exactly what you're looking for by this point. You guys have either set off or found so many of these, especially you, Zachary, and Alia. You're very conscious of them when you
So
pay
we're here
attention.
for.
So you
Right,
can.
so I go around and do the same thing to that trap. Go around.
Yep. So
Yeah, clockwise.
please move. You got plenty of movement speed. Yeah. All right. And how are you dealing with this one?
The same way.
Go for it.
12.
There's not a big DC on these things. What did you roll? 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hits. There's not a high DC on these little
Alright. Yeah. I was
sensors.
just 6 damage.
Yeah, it's still this time it doesn't disintegrate like the previous, just fiery eruption. This time it just you're a little bit disinterested. You know that it doesn't take as much as your previous efforts you put into it, and just a little flick of your wrist, that small spurt of flame just cracks that sensor in half, and then it hits the ground and shatters.
Okay. Let's go through. We move through, but searching for traps as we go.
So you're going through a little bit slower and paying very careful attention to your surroundings. Are the rest of you coming up? And also, what are your pets doing? Because at the moment, the last
staying
you're
away
aware
from
of
the
them, they're
fireball.
huddling around the toilet.
Huddling around the
Yeah, you
pool.
guys behind me? Or?
So Zach, I'll say that you've navigated. I'm just going you across the portal, but you guys, instead of you're all navigating around the portal,
Yeah.
none of you are stepping into it at the moment.
I mean, I'll move up.
I'm gonna leave all my animals behind and I'll follow.
Am I not standing there technically anyway?
Yeah, I hadn't moved you. I figured somewhere around there, but
that's
yeah,
all.
anywhere there is fine. As you were
Yep.
doing your 18, you probably moved around that whole gory mess.
4.
So sorry, I missed Race. What you said is Alia staying with the pets or coming forward and leaving
No, I'm
them,
coming, but the
telling them to
pets
stay?
are staying.
All right. Where we go. So I'm just going to pretend the portal's not there for the moment, just in the interest of being able to do the marching order. So none of you are going in the portal, but that's my current marching order because Ali, you had the furthest to travel, unless you went straight there while Fokionis, and avoided Fokionis as he was poking in the blood and body parts.
No, then I would have gotten hit with that trap.
All right, so there we
Brilliant.
are. Zachary has led the way. The other two of you have just
I'm
kind of
holding up
sauntered
my
over.
light and sort of just looking at the walls for what the traps look like. We know what they look like now.
Yep. You're very, very conscious of those arrow ones now. Like you've seen, God, shitloads of them, both successfully and unsuccessfully, consciously and unconsciously in Alia's case. All right, so Zachary, you're just going to continue making your way with the rest of the entourage coming through. Now, as you guys are doing this, Alia, can you, just as you hit this doorway, can I get you as the person who's at the rear? And I mean, I know you can be up against Fokionis, but can you give me a perception roll, please? Just as you come through the doorway. I'll bring your Drake over with you. Everything's fine. You carry on about your business. You think you maybe hear something, but probably your ears playing tricks on you. Nothing to worry about here.
You just deleted. Right.
You can't see anything there. Just worry about yourself. Zachary doesn't know what's going on back there. So as you move through, the three of you come into this open area. It's quite similar to the area where you had your rest and there was a toilet, but there's no toilet here, but there is some really familiar decorative items around the wall where it's pretty obvious to you that without having to inspect them closely, you're kind of familiar now, having done some investigation, that these are very much props that are around the outside of the walls. They're not really anything
If I
of
get
worth.
stabbed, I'm gonna stab you.
I live a long way away from you. But what you
I know your
do
address.
notice, yeah, you do actually. I still feel safe.
I'll
It's not a
check my
serious
mail
threat.
for
No,
a few weeks if I owe
no,
you.
no TOS. Yeah, no powder in the mud. No, don't give me any scares.
Could you imagine if I
might-
sent him a glitter bomb?
Oh my god, I might be hesitant about accepting any more like doing any more trades for COVID tests, for rats tests from you. No, it might be COVID loaded. What you do notice is that I couldn't do it on the map. I didn't know how to, but where you are familiar with seeing like these concrete chests that have more often than not either not opened or contained skeletons, or in Pocchionus's case, attempted to stack goblins in them, but they wouldn't open. The sarcophagus is actually open, and it is overflowing with coins, and a few other things glinting in there. Like it is a shitload of all kinds of colors. And there's also just a couple of other items kind of poking out of that huge pile of coins. But this appears to be Mama Fox stash. And where you didn't find anything really on those goblins, it looks like she has reached one of her giant arms down and thrown it into this room and this chest. She has stashed some cash here. So in that, oh sorry, Zach, I saw you move straight across. I'm guessing you're having a little poke around and a look in there.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So
one week
in there,
money.
right on top, you find quite a large red potion that looks like those potions of healing that you've had before. You're pretty confident that it's the same sort of thing, but it's much bigger. The bottle and the color of it is a much richer red. So you find that, and in terms of your inventory, it's a greater healing potion.
What is that?
I will give you. Oh, yeah, I'll give you that. That's what it is. There is a wand. You're not exactly sure what it is, but there is a very clearly almost a Harry Potter-esque wand, sitting in the
Got one
pile
of
of
those.
coins. And then, as you are scooping it up, it feels like, just from the weight of the coins alone and the colors you're seeing through there, just so you can put in your inventory, you pick up 700 copper, 4,000 silver, 3,200 gold, and 120 platinum coins.
I'll write that down.
You'll be able to see it all if you click on that chest.
Right.
Click on it.
I clicked on it. All right.
It should be visible to players.
I'll add that to my inventory.
Well, Zach's there
I
at the
see
moment, so
shit.
you guys are like,
And we'll
as you
split
come through, you just see Zach just scooping. And like, he's basically taken off his top hat, which is his bag of holding. It has stretched out to this gaping hole, and he is just scooping wealth in. It's disappearing into his hat. And as you get there, you see the last pile and glint of coins disappearing
be
into
sharing
that
that.
hole.
Yeah. We'll split it when we get back to the care bag.
I have a wand and I'm not afraid
More.
to use it.
Did you take the wand? Or...
Oh, I didn't.
No, you took everything, dude. You as they, because they were kind of a bit behind you, and you led the way carefully, looking at the
You just went
stones,
noink.
and you went. Like, you saw that glint, and you went over.
Oh yeah.
Confident that things were okay. Whereas the other two kind of, they were being a little bit more cautious behind you, and then you ducked around the corner, and they lost sight of you, and then they saw you again as you were just going Scrooge, doing the reverse Scrooge McDuck, just dumping wealth into your hat, and then it shrinks back to size and sits back on top of your head.
Just like Daffy Duck in the Aladdin's cave one. Mine.
So anyone who was wondering exactly where Zachary's bag of holding was, because he's very minimalist in what he's carrying, now you've seen it in action.
All right, let's go back. Yeah, we'll just split the total.
Sure, I'll follow you. So you die first.
Sure.
So, well, I'm just going to hide your Drake at the moment, Ms. Racer, just so it's one less token to move.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you did with the Rashi, right?
Yep. Yeah, well, you're unaware of anything. That's Rathiu's fine, man. He's back at the bathroom with Brutus and Grebo, as far as you're aware. So as you come through, skirting the portal, I'm assuming Zachary is being cautious, like, you know, using even though it's brightly lit, using the light on the end of his saber, and he's just carefully checking that there's no more of those
we've
different
already
traps or
checked
pressure
this
points.
room for traps, so
Yeah,
like
twice.
we just twice. So we don't need to move cautiously through this
But
room.
with the great cell, is it not? He says above the table.
I missed that. Sorry, I was laughing at Lily's comment in chat.
It's the great cell, isn't it? Like we don't know there's no traps here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and look, Zachary's so convincing. He doesn't even need to make a deception roll on. Not that he would have to, because you know there's no one he's trying to deceive.
No,
Exactly.
I will give you credit. The last 2 sessions, you guys have been much better than the one before, where it was just like, you know, where the traps are. You know, the map. Like, oh, fuck me. This is going to be interesting to see how this keeps going. Yeah, it was gold. Yeah. So just let you know that there was 3 of those. So you're heading through the same way.
Yeah. I'm going.
Sure.
Do you need to go to the toilet?
No.
I don't know, I think I need to check the toilet for if there's any more. Yeah, so we
Oh, I
don't
might
get a
just have to
surprise
try.
when we're halfway through. You know.
Yep. All right. So Zachary
You
heads
do
up
you,
to
boo.
the toilet. Zachary, as you're going through, and before you make, I need to go back to actually mark you off again for another fucking toilet trip. Can you do a perception
count as a
roll
long
for
rest
me
if he
just
hasn't
as
had
you're
fiber?
heading into the bathroom?
No.
Sorry, mate, I missed that.
Does that count as a long rest if he hasn't had fiber?
It counts as fucking funny though.
13.
13. You notice that you haven't seen Grebo in a little while, but you can see that he's there, just curled up around Brutus's legs. Brutus is sitting outside the toilet, and you can't see Rathu, but the last place you did see him was just around the corner a bit, as opposed to just outside the toilet where the other 2 are. So you can't quite see him, but you can see the other 2, and you're reasonably confident with the 13 that he's around the corner somewhere, possibly hiding in the dark. Do you want to go into the dunny, or do you want to do something with that?
I don't know. I guess I don't know if Zach would be too concerned about Rathy. Yeah. So he'll just go in the toilet.
All right. Going in, do your business. There are no further notes or anything on the walls. It's the same place as it was the last time you left it. You study the map again, you know, making what is, I believe, at your 4th or 5th. I need to flip back to the right page. Study of that, and head out to rejoin the group.
Okay.
And I nearly took the toilet instead of you with me. That's why I didn't have it inside the darkness. It doesn't work properly when a player goes in that way. All right. So you're heading into the next hallway. Is Zach in the lead?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So keep in mind, like you guys are aware again, Zachary, with you in the lead, as you get, like, you're being cautious and you've got your light and you're looking carefully at the walls. It looks like there's nothing amiss, like there's nothing that wasn't on Mort's maps. But you are now heading into a hallway that you literally just looked at while you were using the toilet yet again, and studying that map. And you know that there is a whole series of the same sort of traps as the Drake fell into last time round, and you didn't get to see that trap fully in action as to what caused it. It seemed like there was a step, and then the floor opened up and then closed. But on the map, there was a whole string of these marked along this hallway.
Okay.
I ain't making you roll shit because you're going to that dunny so often that you've practically got this thing fucking tattooed onto your forearm at this point.
Alright, no, I just like, look like, just pretend I'm, looking on the walls for traps as I usually am, just moving forward like slowly and, cautiously.
Yeah, all
As I
right.
do.
So as you're as you get to the point where I've just moved your icon to there, you kind of stop and it appears like you may have seen something, mainly because you know that there's something there, but you can't quite make out exactly what it is that's ahead of you. But you know that you're really confident there's something straight ahead of you from the map that you've seen that's been quite accurate with traps so far. So can I get you, please? You can make
I
a
just
choice.
pretend to trip and throw a rapier or something.
Of course you can. Yeah, absolutely. Can you make a performance check for me, please?
Come on.
I'm gonna laugh if this goes the worst way
Oh,
possible.
shit.
19.
Holy shit.
With all of the years of practice you have as a stage magician, channeling all of that performance art and skill that you've built up, you majestically fumble and trip over absolutely nothing, but you sell it as if there was, some sort of outcrop that has caused you to topple off balance while you're peering at the wall, focusing on, looking for traps and signs of danger, and you you drop your rapier on the floor ahead of you as you just catch your balance up against the wall before you fall flat on your face. And that rapier, you can see from the vantage point you have almost nose to floor with it, presses down on a part of the stonework that was ever so slightly raised, and the floor opens up, like snaps open and snaps shut over the top of your rapier.
Oh, we are now in darkness.
No, the whole dungeon is lit up. Your rapier has
Alright,
disappeared under the floor.
Oh no! It's lucky I
Play
tripped
stupid
there.
games, get stupid rewards.
Guys, there's a trap here. Good thing I tripped or we would never have found it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, so now you try to jump over it?
Can't go around it.
When that hole
Have to
opened
go
up, it
through
was
it.
really clear because you
Go
Mission
under it.
Impossible that it is 5 feet across, and you saw that distance last time, and I did hear that going on a bear hunt. That was pretty funny.
Right, so what are we doing here?
Should we just jump over the pit then? Fuck.
After you.
I could throw you over. I'm just saying.
How do you want to do this, Team Chaos?
I'll jump it.
Zachary, you had Alia can slide up in your space and make that jump if you would like to let her, Zach. You don't have to do anything in the hallway. She can slide through.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So Alia slides up. Look, Racer, you can make this roll if you want, but we already know, unless you roll 2 1s in a row, that you are going to automatically succeed on a 5-foot jump. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to give you the guaranteed 5-foot jump. So you leap across nimbly, and as you land, the floor opens up underneath you, and you guys look for a moment as Alia does the little Wile E. Coyote legs and disappears into the floor, and it snaps shut above her.
What the what?
God damn it.
Now, dealing with
What?
Alia, you jumped over one trap and set off another. Now that
What the fuck?
is... And just check if you get any benefits on this, but I just need to give you your damage. Oh, fucking hell.
Doesn't even get a
You...
saving.
Right,
Can I get...
Horses,
Yeah,
we've
no,
been down the road
I
before,
should have done the
champ.
saving throw. Can you give me a dexterity... Yes, dexterity saving throw for me, please, to see whether you take full or half damage.
We've been down this road before, Sparhawk. You just fucking tank those rolls, all right?
Are you kidding right now?
Well, you
That
got
was
two on that.
gypped.
You got 2 on the second one, which is the roll
Did
you
you?
have to take. You do fail that roll. However, as you fell, due to your small size, as you went over one trap and then disappeared down another, your small frame actually slides underneath these pneumatic presses that just slam once out of the wall and then spring back, and you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. It
Fucking hell.
just barely claps your left knee as it's slightly raised as you hit the ground. But for the rest of you, Alia is currently disappeared from view,
well,
and the
she's gone.
rapier has disappeared from view.
If
So
I
you
don't
now
find
know
a
that there is
path
at least
underneath this,
10
I'm gonna be
feet of...
pissed.
There is now 10 feet of trap.
Well, there's no getting back from that, so guess we'll just go back and go through the portal.
No,
So
bro.
make me hunt you down.
I've got this rope here. I can either tie it around your waist and throw you in, or I can string you up by the balls. You choose.
Whoa!
Either's fine with me. I'll do a double granny. It'll be fine.
Do your balls hang low? Do they rub the floor?
When did this turn into nursery night?
Sleep deprivation.
Nursery run time.
So I need to
No,
just...
how'd we do this last time?
It was a lot
Last
smaller
time.
and I jumped over it.
Yeah. We just tied a rope around her waist.
Okay,
And I
so
used my javelin to pry the doors open.
can we do the same here? I guess.
Well, we could do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
try.
So yeah, we tie a rope
Around
So-
you.
around me,
Yes.
and you hold on to it,
Sure. Let's go with
and
that.
I like open the door, and you like shove your javelin in and hold it open.
Now remember, you two are going to be very, very squished when you do that.
You can't talk. You're stuck in a trap.
It's 5 feet across. It's not that
Why
bad.
don't we use something to trigger the trap, not you? Then I pry it open. Then you go in.
Okay. Do that.
I've got this big tooth.
Jeez, that was a COVID laugh.
Oh, I know.
It's
Trying to
on it,
rip
or I
off.
could use it to
Stupid.
trigger the trap. You could use your rope. Oh, wait, you can't.
All right, Zach and Fokionis, you've got a couple of plans there. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna just let's go with, I don't know. Are we in agreement? Shall we roll the tooth and then hold the trap open with the javelin, perhaps?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, so much confidence. I love it when you're decisive.
All right. So the plan is, just so I'm clear, you're going to use the tooth to trigger the trap where the rapier is.
Well, we have to clear that one first, because if we step on
Yeah.
that, we obviously cannot move.
And then the javelin, you're attempting to put the javelin in the trap.
Let me just see if that's
Yes.
the best thing in my kit. But yes, that is the intent.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
I have
you've-
2 javelins. I will use the lesser, not the javelin of lightning, but the javelin of shittiness.
Yep, okay. All right. I will give you that you have done this once before.
Correct.
So with the tooth, you can literally, with your size, you know exactly where the pressure pad is. You could reach out and place that tooth on the pressure pad that the rapier hit. So that's no drama. That doesn't require any roll. Because the trap snaps open and shut so fast, I am going to get you to do exactly the same as you did last time. You're going to do a acrobatics check to see if you can get the javelin in there in time, and you are going to do that with advantage because you've successfully completed this once already. So Poccionus and Zachary shuffle around do-si-do, and
11.
11 was your roll with advantage.
Yeah, I rolled
Yep.
2 9s, so no advantage per se.
Okay, so you place a tooth, the trap snaps open, you place shitty javelin number 1, you get it in place, you get it in between the two parts of the trap, and it just springs back shut, snapping that javelin in two.
Oh my god, that's my second worst
It
javelin.
almost
Fuck.
held. It almost held, but then it wasn't quite up to scratch.
Okay.
And Ali, you just chill in the dark.
Are we looking at
for the
this
moment,
wrong
I'm
way?
coming
Is
to you
there
next.
maybe some way to stop this trap?
All right, while you guys
Maybe.
contemplate that, the first one's that hasn't quite worked out. Alia, you are. Remind me, do you have dark vision? No, you don't, because you used a torch before.
I
So
have
you're currently
Underdark.
Yeah, but it doesn't let you see in the dark. So at the moment you are in pitch blackness. What the trap has, like, it closed, it smacked your knee, hurt a little bit, and then you felt it spring back open. So you're currently basically in a dark pit. And it's around, we established last time, somewhere between 6 and 8 foot deep. You know that from what you've seen before.
Okay.
What would you like to do while these boys contemplate their next attempt or whatever they're going to do?
Sniff around, I guess. That's all I can do.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that.
I don't have the soundbite ready.
Your sniffing has worked out for you pretty well so far. So in the dark, with your other sentences heightened, you just get a straight roll on this. Can you give me a perception check in the dark, please? Holy fuck. That is well and truly above the DC you needed to roll. So,
Yeah.
as you're sniffing around, you can smell a scent that is a little bit different to the other, like the sense of, like, there's grease and there's hydraulics and there's all kinds of mechanical items you can smell in here, and some springs and metal and dirt and dust. But up in the top right hand corner, you can smell something that's a little bit more human, and it's a little bit more like the the grease and oil that you're used to smelling in the human that you interacted with. A bit grottier, a bit dirtier. I mean, it's not quite human, but it's pretty damn close. So sniffing around up there and then darting your tongue in for a little bit of an extra sensory feel, you feel a latch flip, and the floor above you springs open and stays open, flooding the pit with light. So you
Sup, bitches!
can now be heard, but not quite seen, because you're around 8 feet down. If you stand up, you're around 5 feet from the top of the hole to the top of your head. But you have sprung the trap open, and you look, and you, as you listen, you can hear Poccionus and Zachary discussing how the failure of their first attempt to open the trap and what they're going to do next. Over to you, Poccionus and Zachary.
Yeah, that's what we did last time.
But he used the different javelin last time. Right?
I don't want to use my good javelin, because what happens if it gets fucked up?
I don't know. It's up to you.
And as
Do
you're
you
having
want to
this
say Valia or
conversation,
not?
the other trap
Yeah,
springs
obviously.
open, and you hear
Wanna
the
throw you
"What's
in the
up,
hole
bitches?"
together, so yeah.
echoing from the hole.
What? How'd you do that? How'd you do that?
It's my nose.
Oh, you know what? That
I
makes
didn't
sense.
think to use our nose. Let's try that. Let's really like just bash my nose into.
Where are you bashing your nose? I'm going to need a little bit more detail on that.
Just joking.
He's gonna try and trip and face plant the fucking floor again.
All right. So, can you climb out on your side?
No.
No.
Is there more traps after you?
Right, if we could jump over the 10 feet, right? Do you reckon, or is there another trap after that?
There's
I
the
know, I
trap
think
that
it's- think
you
it's
guys
worth the
can barely
risk.
hear me anyway.
We can hear
You can easily be heard. Like now
Oh.
that the top has opened, that really heavy stone has sprung open. You guys are only like a little bit over 5 feet apart. You can hear each other clearly.
There's only the one that you dropped your rapier in. After this, it's a wall.
Oh, we can leave my rapier. It's fine. Buy another one.
You sure?
Yeah, the portal's
Yeah, we
right
got
back
like
there.
3,000 gold. Jesus.
Yeah,
Buy all the weapons you fucking
Yeah.
want.
That's. I forgot.
550 rapiers. All right. Yeah. All right. So, Vok.
Yeah.
Alright, I reckon you should run up and jump like 10 feet.
Or
that
I
bit.
could throw you 10 feet, and you got the rope
You
tied around
can't
you. So
throw-
anything goes wrong,
Can't throw me from 10 feet.
buddy. Are
He's
you
not
sure?
a bedroll. But I'm happy to see you try. Oh,
A little bit. I want to see me try too.
so what
we
are you
try?
going to do, guys?
You want to jump? Do you want me to throw you? Or-
Alright, why don't we go like back to back, right? Because the walls are 5 feet apart, right?
Yeah.
Go back to back, right? Lock our arms,
What are you trying to
and then
pull?
like put our like legs on the walls and just push back on each other, and then just sort of like so we're like not on the floor. We just sort of slide along.
I don't know if we know each other well enough for you to push back. But okay. Desperate times.
Oh my gosh. This has to be the most complicated way to navigate a 10-foot gap.
You sure you don't
Okay.
want
Yeah,
me to throw
can
you?
They're gonna
jump a
pick
10
me
foot
up
gap.
along the way.
There is a
With the run up, you can jump
How
a
about
10
this?
foot
How
gap. I'm
about you take the
confident.
rope off? I'll throw the rope to Aaliyah. She ties it around her waist, and we pull her up.
Or into
but
the
we
other
wanna-
into
we
the
wanna-
trap next door.
No, back to us.
Yeah, that's a real good idea.
no.
But we
you
want to
don't
end
do
up on
that.
the other side of it though.
I can't pull it to the other side. That's throwing. Even I know that.
All right, so
Right, what are we doing above the table? Because I'm confused. Fuck.
okay,
It's so confusing
Okay,
Just
so
crawl
leave-
along
leave
the
the-
wall. Then you get to the part in like in
Well,
front
what
of
if I fall
me,
down? Like,
and then
we're
you
under
can
the
pull me
rapier.
out.
okay. How about leave the rope tied to me, right?
Right,
Then I run up. I
right.
like get a 10-foot run up.
Yep.
Then like you'll be there and you give
Yep.
me like a boost, right? So I
Oh,
will definitely make the 10 feet,
I like it. I can do that.
right?
That'll
And
work.
then
I'll
like
do
and
like
I'll fall in
human
the trap hole
trebuchet.
on the other side. Yeah, like a trebuchet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Spark, that's what we're doing.
all right.
Okay.
So
What are we rolling for
I'll
that
just
bad
take my
boy?
jumper off. Hang on.
okay. So let me. Zachary is doing a 10-foot run up, and then he's getting a boost from you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What do I have to roll? What
Zachary,
do you have to roll?
let me do the first part first. So if you're doing a 10-foot running start, you can jump the number of feet equal to your strength score plus the number of feet you travel during your running start, which is 10. So unless you have a negative modifier on your strength score, we're almost an
My
auto
strength
success.
is 9.
Do you have any pluses or minuses to that,
So
like
it's
proficiency
minus 1.
Okay, so you can't quite do it on your own. What I would like you to do, actually, all
But
we're
I've
really got to
talked
roll
about
is whether Phocyonis can handle a little bit of a dexterity item to give you that extra boost of a foot. So
Acrobatics?
Phocyonis, yep, you are going to do an acrobatics roll for me, please, to essentially do exactly what you said, to position your hands, to give Zachary a bit more of a push as he runs from around the hallway to get his 10 feet.
No,
He's starting.
it's not his hands. He just has his back down, right? And then
Oh,
like
he's
as I
on all
run, he
fours.
Oh,
stands
I'm a
up,
football.
right?
Fox
So I like
Okay.
jump off his back, and he's like a
Gotcha.
springboard. He like pushes.
All right, then Zachary, I need you to give me an acrobatics check to see if this will let you successfully clear that 10 feet.
23.
Oh,
Fuck. So with the grace of a gazelle, Zachary just takes a couple of light-footed steps and barely touching Phocyonis's broad shoulders, who's on all fours, bracing for impact, does a dainty pirouette in midair, a slight somersault over the top of Alia, who just watches him sail through with one hand holding his hat in place, and lands with a slight bow on the floor, which stays sturdy. So Zachary 23 has just defied the laws of physics in only having to get an extra foot in his jump.
nice.
You're across.
Hell yeah.
Now do the rest.
Bro, you mad at me. Ooh.
Like, can I like sort of give Alia a hand up now?
With your respective heights and arm reaches, if you lay down, Zachary, and
Yeah.
Alia just reaches up, you can, especially with the combined strength, her especially, you can definitely. You are definitely helping her up. She's not that heavy, and she largely just clambers up over your arm. No problem at all. So Alia can share your space in this narrow hallway. I will put her beside you just so I can keep track of the tokens.
Okay.
And then we have Phocyonis at the far end.
And I hope there isn't any more of those, but like just in case, I sort of like push my foot forward a bit, like to see if the floor gives out. Like check the
Yep.
next tile over.
Yep, and it's exactly. Yeah, I've experienced this and witnessed it, and had a near miss with your rapier. Your foot tapping around a little bit hits the pressure pad, and the floor goes opens and closes because you kept your foot above very daintily and carefully. Remnants of your 23. You can see that there is definitely a trap there, but it is now closed. And Phocyonis, make sure, and Zachary, you currently are missing a rapier and a tooth, respectively, a hill giant tooth, respectively.
All right.
Alright.
So I'm still stuck on the other side of said.
You are. You can clearly see your compatriots. So it's a brightly lit hallway. But
Right.
yeah, you're 10 feet away from them.
Right.
If we have to go through this on the way back, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, is anyone able to disarm first set of floor trap from where you are, or no?
Yeah, where's that latch that you or whatever you found to open it?
It's
The trap?
underneath.
Underneath.
Oh,
Alright, so you just push you in.
You're coming with me if you do.
I can throw you the rope.
Yeah, but yeah, if
There's got to be something on
we
the
use
walls
the
that
rope,
stops this.
right, it's gonna close back up and then cut the rope.
Oh,
Can I lick the wall?
Ooh, lick the
You can
wall.
absolutely lick the wall.
Lick the wall.
Do your perception roll. There's no advantage. You just
Well, fuck.
it's a bit dusty.
Hmm.
The wall.
There's got to be something that stops these fuckers from dropping.
Surely.
Fuck, you look around on your walls.
I'm looking.
All right. I will let
Lick
you,
it if you have to.
because you've seen the lick check happen. You can either do an investigation or a perception.
Ooh, let's have a look. Investigation. Ooh, perception. Well, look, perception's got the better modifier at +0, so I'll do that.
I thought that was gonna go an entirely different way. But okay.
I assume I'm just licking a wall given I rolled a 3.
Watching and following Alia's lead, and she told you to lick the wall, so like you trust your little furry friend. She hasn't led you astray yet. You lick the wall too, and yeah, it's a bit less dusty down your end. It's had a
This
few more
one's dead.
handprints on it. It's a wall. No
What's an
Simon.
egg?
Trap disarming on this side of the traps.
I guess I'll have to jump, huh?
What you do
Yeah.
notice, Alia and everybody else, because just in case you missed it with everything else that was happening, that trap that Alia opened, it has stayed open. It has not closed again.
So even if I don't make 10 feet, if I get past 5 feet, I should be good, is what you're saying. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Or not.
Well, I will tell you this because even with your limited intelligence, Fokionis would know this. You currently have Zachary and Alia occupying the space that they're in. If you leap forward, you are going to
Yeet them all.
shove Zachary out of that space. Alia can occupy it,
Right.
but Zachary will be.
Okay, with the one Alia fell down, it's open, right? Is it connected to the first one, or is there a separating?
No, I'll give you that. All you have to do is look back towards. It's clearly
Yeah.
lit. It is a very finite hole. Does not appear to be connected to the one before it. It appears to
Alright.
be an individual pit.
That's what I thought.
That's convenient, isn't it?
Sorry, I guess.
Come on, man. All right, what are we doing? Am I running and jumping? Are you moving forward? Or I know you've tested the waters, but are you confident to move forward enough for me to jump 10 feet? And
Zachary's gonna
not
lick the
crush me?
wall first.
Yeah, lick the wall, bro.
Yeah.
What would you like to do, Zachary? Do you want to lick the wall?
really?
Do it.
I do have a spell that will get
Do it.
me.
Wait, you've got a wall licking spell?
It'll get me to the end of the corridor.
Don't you fucking dare.
Oh my god, your tongue must be long, bro.
Alright, and maybe there's something there that will like disable them all. If not, where's
You better hope so, or you're going alone.
Yeah, I cast Misty Step.
All right. And that
using, yeah,
will take you 30 feet.
30 feet.
So, and Zachary is gone and then reappears. Again, you can see him clearly, Alia, and I think Pocahontas as well. Like, it's clearly lit. I'm pretty sure that your vision will extend 45 feet in normal terms, because I'm pretty sure your dark vision's that far. So, a little bit far off in the distance, but he's there. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll look around for anything to disable the traps. I don't think licking will do much, but
Then let's do an investigate. Or I'll let you choose. Like, you've seen licking hasn't worked, you can rule that out. But you can
Chicken.
decide, having seen what hasn't worked, whether you want to do an investigation or a perception check, scouting around the end of the corridor.
it doesn't matter because I haven't respec yet. But just roll investigation. 16.
16. Okay. With a 16, coming up to the and having a close look at the mirror that's I am trying to move you instead of the mirror, sorry. So this one here, just getting it out of the way for distance's sake. It looks a little bit different to the others. And still with limited hesitation, like you're really confident despite the experiences you've had with the mirrors. You, you're pretty sure that there's going to be nothing else amiss now. There's no more electrocutions or anything else dangerous happening. And for once in Zachary's experience so far in this dungeon, it turns out to be right. So as he's feeling around that mirror and investigating around what things that might be astray or amiss, the what was a wire on the previous mirrors, there is a small little what feels like a latch that when you hit it springs back into the wall, and you just hear a steady like cascading, almost like a sound of dominoes, with the traps down that corridor underneath the ground. You just hear this, and the trap that Alia had forced open snaps shut.
Yes, my rapier's gone.
Well, I
Hey, you
suppose,
said you'd buy a new one.
it's still under the floor with the tooth.
Get over it.
Did that work? Try it.
Bet I
Alright,
take a step forward.
Tentatively, you step through, bracing for maybe another, smack and a fall. Nothing happens. Solid ground. That heightened step that has been setting off the traps appears to have recessed into the ground, and it's solid floor.
Yay.
Alright, I'm gonna keep walking up.
All right, Alia just strolls up and getting more and more confident, just walks across the rest of the corridor, even though Zachary, from all of your throne room study, you're pretty confident there's more traps in there. Solid ground. Bocchionis?
Well, if there's solid ground now and it seems safe for me to walk, with great trepidation and some caution, I might try to make my way to where my compatriots are.
Yeah, carefully concerned, especially over that spot where Alia fell and where you saw the tooth and the rapier disappear. You're getting more confidence as you go, and with the scurrying of the Drake behind you, you make it to the rest of your companions without any apparent issue.
No, we did it.
Yeah.
To the end of a hallway.
Yes, you did.
That was hard.
It only took us half an hour.
Never know where things are going to go with you guys, eh?
I love it.
Alright,
It's gold.
let's
There
keep
is
going.
always a wall licking and sniffing in every episode.
There'd nothing if not consistent and on brand. So Zachary, as you go down, seeing as how you're currently in the lead, moving up a little bit, you can see that there is another really narrow hallway. And again, from all of your study that you have done in the toilet over multiple visits, you're pretty confident that there are more of those arrow traps that you are now really familiar with in this corridor. But you're just at the entry of it at the moment, so you don't have a clear view of exactly what might be where.
Alright, okay. So yeah, I move down cautiously, having a look, and I just shoot out any ones that I see.
Yep. So now knowing exactly what you're looking for, you can see that staggered red gem. Like it's now really apparent to you the experiences you've had and also the study you've done. So you can see down this corridor as you're moving through, there are at least 6 of them. You're pretty confident, and one is now right in front of you. And you've got Alia behind you, and essentially Alia and Pocchionis are together in one spot, so you've got easy communication. They can occupy the same space. So you can see that there is one just ahead of you. How would you like to deal with it? What would you like to do with that? So just to show you it's there.
Yeah, I'll cast Firebolt at it
Fireball.
again.
Wouldn't you
Yep.
rather me use my arrows?
Yes. You should do that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
seeing
Alia.
Zachary is about to cast this spell, and Alia pipes up and offers to assist. So Zachary's pointed out where it is. You can just do a straight roll to take a shot at it, Alia. Just do an attack roll.
Okay. The normal attack roll.
Yep, just a straight normal
Mm.
attack roll.
What happens if you miss? Like,
Look, fucking hell, 25 with a natural 17. You hit that one, and not only do you take it out, the second one, the arrow and the arrowhead ricochet off the first, and the shrapnel that comes out destroy the second sensor, that you can see. Interestingly, this corridor, before when you've like busted those sensors that sometimes set off the trap, the light just goes out. The arrows, if that's what these are, and it appears they are, don't shoot out. The lights just go dim. You just took out 2. That was a fucking huge roll.
Do you want me to go for the next one?
Yeah.
I'll put up. I'll do
Please.
the others so you can. Zachary has already identified
Yeah, that's like
very clearly where
4.
they are.
Okay. It was attack throw, wasn't it?
Position. So
Yeah, I'll
is
go
that
with this one.
one?
Alright, just a normal attack roll.
Look, we're just gonna say that with Alia sliding through under Zach's legs and just taking out all of her frustrations and anger and grief and even with a little bit of elation from the new bond she's formed with Brutus, just lays waste to this corridor and the gems. Like she's just like basically an anime montage going down with destruction and shards and gem dust flying behind her. They're gone. You get to the end of the corridor, and you, especially Zachary, know that at the end of this corridor there is actually a little, from the map, a room recessed in there. So what appears to be a dead end is potentially not all that it seems.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to lick the wall again.
Yeah, well, the
Do it.
last time there was a corridor like this, with just arrow traps along it. Remember the wall at the end was like a fake wall? You just bash it open.
Be my
Maybe
guest.
it's the same. Hey, let's get the guy who's good at bashing stuff to do
I can do that. Do you mean me? I can do that.
All right, down comes Fokionis.
Oh yeah.
All right, now you said bash. So Fok, I'm actually going to essentially from what Zach described and what you did last time, which was basically shove
like-
the wall. So what I need you to do is, what's the strength check? I
Shoulder
think it's
barge it.
athletics. I need you to do an athletics
Go.
roll for me, just because I want to see what the roll is for the outcome.
It's +7, so hopefully it will be at least 7.
Mm-hmm.
8.
13.
It's not a high DC. Actually, 13 is exactly what you needed. That's what it was last time. Last time you destroy, like, your roll was considerably higher. This time, you know exactly, like, now that Zachary's reminded you, you're getting some flashbacks to, not that long ago, but a lot's happened for you since then. And you just get your hands firmly in the center of the wall, one foot against the other side because you can reach. It's not that far. And with one brief, short shove, the rocks just tumble gracefully inwards into a little pile, and
Perfect.
it opens
Look
up
at
another room. Now, I'm assuming. Oh, sorry. I just need to know: are you, so that Zachary can see? You would need to step in after that shove. Would you like to do that?
Dad.
I don't know if I want to do that. I might look around first.
All right. So, looking around, you see, and I just need to. These things are just for flavor and for my description. So, in this room, there's a table, and the table itself has kind of like a weird glow to it. But there's nothing there you can see that has caused that. Something has made it happen, but there's nothing you can actually see that's making it happen. Scattered around actually, you don't need to see that. Scattered around the walls, there is, and it's like a mist of blood. It is like a Dexter crime scene, but without a body. There is just copious amounts of blood sprayed around that room. And I'll give you this because it's exceedingly obvious. On that table that is glowing and apparently unharmed, there is also some scorch marks on that table. And just the angle you're on, you can kind of just make out a chest that appears relatively unharmed in the far corner of the room. So blood, you can definitely see scorch marks because they are just very prevalent, and blood's spattered around the room.
Right, well, I will obviously relay that to my fine friend standing just behind me.
Hmm?
Bro, there's like blood and shit everywhere on these fucking walls. And
Yeah,
some
it
chest
means
over there, but it looks a bit sausage.
sausage. That means the trap's already gone off.
Oh,
Oh,
sure,
but
for real? Wouldn't there be blood on the chair? I mean, I'm an idiot, but you know.
all right. Well, yeah. What's it all originating from? Like just a glowing
No,
spot
there's
on
like
the
scorch
desk, but we
marks
don't
and
know
stuff,
where
but
the
you haven't been there with your fireball yet, so that doesn't make any sense.
fireball. All right.
Can I move so you can have a look, or could you could look through my legs? That's what Ali does all the time.
I'm not sure as how my hat's too big. You can't see that.
Oh, well, that's because it's full of money. You could give me some, I'll hold it for you.
I'll split it with everyone, and once we get back to Mort.
Oh, later.
Hey,
Okay.
is there a safe room
There
on
could be
this
more in
level?
this chest, you
I
know?
thought, all right. Okay. Well,
What are we doing?
yeah, I have to roll perception, I guess. Go cautiously.
So at the moment, everybody's outside the door. Because in order to step through with the narrowness of the corridor, like we can do a shuffle, but I just need to know, is someone stepping into that room? Because you can't all occupy that space at the entryway.
No, Fock is clearly
We'll
stepping
take turns.
after this.
We'll take turns. All
All
right.
right. So who's going in first?
No one's
Cautiously.
going
I
in.
got
We're
it was
standing at the
cautiously.
doorway and looking in.
Right.
I'll
Then-
do it, you chickens.
So is what you're doing like you're worried about traps? Is that what you ended up coming to? Because there was a lot of.
Yeah.
I think there might be.
Okay. So Fokionis and Alia are the ones who are currently there. The other thing that you can do, actually no, you can't do that till you go in the room. So you can either do what you've been doing, like sussing out what's going on. You can do your investigation or your perception. Feel free to give those a roll.
Alright, I'll go investigation.
Investigation.
Because you're specifically looking for like danger traps, etc., from the doorway.
Does 17 keep me safe?
Nice rolls.
Did you both roll 17? Wow.
Yep.
So as you're peering in without actually crossing that threshold, as best you can tell with those dual 17s, whatever has happened in here has happened. There's nothing clear that you two can see that gives you any kind of danger signals or cause for concern. Still got to just going to pretend the shuffles happen rather than move all your tokens. Can you do your either investigation or perception for me, please, Zach?
Two.
What?
They're being paranoid. As you told them, the room's fine. The trap's been set off. Whatever's happened has happened. It's all good.
Oh, okay. One of us gonna have a look?
Yeah, well, I'll go in.
Okay.
You paranoid people.
You're the last one in. Zach, just with supreme
Just step
confidence,
in.
just steps in,
Yeah.
wanders through. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
As you came through, Zach, and it's all so close, I'm guessing you're going to have a look at the chest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why do I feel like this is not what it seems?
The chest, while closed, doesn't appear to be locked, and with all of the confidence of your two, you raise that lid. The other two, Fokionis especially, is cringing with concern. But as you open it up,
Not
like
gonna
you can
stop
see
me.
that it is neatly stacked. It is almost like a chest version of a fisherman's toolbox, where there's all these neat sections in the chest itself. And please open it up so you can see what you're getting in there. But there's a whole heap of different gems, and they're all neatly lined up in their different sections. And I will give you this because it doesn't need any kind of investigation or attunement. But there is also an empty vial, and there is what looks like a bull's horn that has been clearly stoppered, and from the residue that's on it, you can tell that it has been filled with gunpowder. So there is horn called a gunpowder powder horn, and a whole bunch of different gems of what look to be reasonable value and some empty vials in that chest, very neatly organized. The chest appears to be perhaps specifically designed to be unharmed by the explosion. Probably gave you too much there for a 2. You got a lot of shit. You're taking it all.
We roll 17 to get fuck all. He gets 2 and gets the world.
Well, he came in. He with his
That's fair. You know what?
blasé ignorance.
Bravery
You
is
guys,
reward.
you were all specifically sussing whether there were traps, and there were.
Because there was sausage.
You just guys did a much more thorough job of sussing out that there were no traps. So you've seen Zach go in, he's opened it up, you've seen this glow, the hat's off his head, and there is just shit disappearing into it again. What do you guys want to do?
Whoa, what's going in the hat there, bro? Have you got spice to?
I'm assuming you guys are coming in at this point.
Split it when we get back to the safe room.
Boy,
There's
Yeah,
a
sure,
safe room
sure.
on this
What?
level, isn't there? Did he say there was a safe room on every level?
On some
Oh,
levels.
On some levels? It only says the toilets. And now I've used them a lot. This place gives me the shits.
Well, no, you keep
give
going
me
to
the
the toilet.
shits.
While
Right.
you guys are in there, can I just get all of you individually to make a survival roll for me,
Fucking
please?
here we go.
What the fuck?
Uh,
Bible,
Knew
where's
it.
that?
right.
Oh, there.
In your
fuck.
character, yeah.
Survival.
So I go down the bottom.
Oh, I'm good.
11.
Where the fuck is that even?
It's in your
Oh, down the
skills.
bottom.
If you go into your yeah, you got it. In the
Oh,
same place as your
I'm
athletics acrobatic.
proper fucked.
What did you roll? What did you roll?
Yeah,
One.
1. Okay. So with your rolls, which were both Zachary, what was yours? Sally was 15, 11. Okay, Alia, with your roll and seeing you all saw like glimpses of what Zach was putting into his hat and got a decent look at the gunpowder horn, and you're pretty confident just with that residue and your past experiences and the knowledge you gain coming into this world that it is a horn full of gunpowder. Ali, paying a little bit more attention, seeing that Zach has basically nabbed all of the shit out of that chest, and you were just moments too late in grabbing it yourself. Looking at the table where the scorch marks seem to originate in the center of the room, whilst the table is undamaged, it looks to you like something that was probably around the size of a small keg or barrel has exploded in this room, which is what has caused the whomever was doing something in here has set that off and basically smeared themselves around the wall. Zach,
God.
you're pretty confident that there's gunpowder, maybe a bit of that on the table. But your eyes are fixated on that loot, and there's definitely blood on the walls. Like you're really confident it's blood. Fokionis, you're just looking at it like it's a Rorschach test. You can see a butterfly, you can see a dog, you can see Hades. You're just fixated on the different patterns you can see in the blood, completely oblivious to the rest of it, and nothing bad happens despite what you guys are stressing.
God damn it.
What do you mean, god damn it?
Just
You guys are gonna end up
start
with all of
trolling
us in your
us
fucking
with
hat
the
of holding.
completely
Just kill
safe
our
room.
characters back if we'll die.
Alright, well, let's keep going.
Bet.
Alright,
Bet.
let's get out of this way.
With all of his
Swag.
confidence, I'm going to just move Zach up. The Drake has
Yolo.
just stayed in the hallway, just
Feel bad
waiting
for
for Ali to come back. And now she is. And he just scurries around your feet and then takes up post back behind you, where you've seemed to have consistently. He's learning from your behaviors and his basic patterns. And from where Zach is. Actually, can I get all of you, the three of you, separately to make a perception roll for me, please?
Oh, well, I'm garbage at
Not
them.
very good at these.
9.
11.
9, 11.
6.
You say
6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a gem like right in the corner here?
all of you, you can't quite make out words, but you can hear some voices. You think the language is common, but it's quiet and it's kind of like stage whispery almost. But you can definitely hear some voices up ahead. You can kind of catch words, but the voices are speaking quietly. But you can hear some people talking. And that's it with that roll across your party. We're not great. But all three of you have heard some kind of whispered conversation or voices. They don't sound, I will say they don't sound stressed or angry. They sound whispered and conversational.
Right.
I'll give you that with your group roll.
Right. What are we doing? Are we trying to see if we can investigate said noises, given that we are going that way?
Yeah.
Gonna have to.
Gonna have to.
Yeah. And just move forward, just cautiously, I guess.
All right. Zach, just because of the are you going stealthily, like slowly and stealthily?
Yes. Say
Mm,
I just need to know
yeah.
for what.
Yeah, we should go softly.
Okay. Can I get you, just as you come to the end of that edge of that corridor, can you do a stealth roll for me, please?
Alright. 22.
Oh, that beats my.
that's some stealthy rolling, my friend.
Fucking hell, my very low rolls, and I'll tell you what they were in a sec. Yep, so you, Zach, make it to the corner, and from where you are there, you can clearly see what looks to be a human. He's not even looking in your direction, he's looking directly across the way. So he's there on your forward and to your left, dressed almost like a stage pirate captain, just without the pirate hat. Like there's the trench coat, the pirate type trench coat, the boots, the kind of puffed out pantaloons, the garish headband, and he's in whispered conversation. And just with that stealth roll, I'm going to give you the info that you can garner from this. So you're hearing definitely one side of the conversation. You're also catching some of what's coming back from across the way that you can't quite see from your current angle. But the gist of the conversation you're getting from those whispers in common is essentially, what were all those noises? Where are those little green fuckers that were supposed to be back by now? We can't really do this on our own. That shit sounded scary. Do you think she's okay? It's a very stressed and skitterish, concerned conversation that you're piecing together. Well, that's the information you've got to piece together and do with as you will.
So we're all aware of that?
At the moment, with his stealth roll, I would even allow Zachary to whisper that back to you. Yes.
Right.
He rolled that fucking high
It
compared
seems
to
to me
the
like
two
they
two
might be
people.
waiting for those blobs that my mum left around the corner to come back, because they're not fucking coming back.
Are you actually
Yeah.
saying that in the game?
No, but yes,
Okay.
but quietly.
Okay.
But yeah.
So because you have that conversation, and because of the proximity you currently have, can I get you, Floccionus, to give me a
Oh,
stealth
fuck.
roll, please?
I'm stealthier than you all.
He's got it well. 15
It should be.
is exactly what I needed.
And the figure with a 17 just stops that whispered conversation and kind of starts, and instead of the whisper goes, "Who goes there? What's that?" And is instantly more alert. No weapon drawn as yet. They're still standing in position, but looking over in the direction. Still can't see you, Zach. You fucking ninja shit in your tuxedo, but is looking towards that
I
entryway
feel like this might be
and
some
very
real
alert.
good charisma stuff.
Above the table, like, are we assuming that these guys are friend or foe?
It's your call. I think the late Ivy would want us
Go on, do some
to make
fancy
friends
calling.
with these people.
Okay, can we test the waters?
Yeah, we'll go hello.
Given that I am,
hello.
I am Phocyonis, son of Phocyonis. What if I was to mimic a type sound that my mother would have made, and see what they do? And if you guys make a bit of noise, we'll see if they're scared or not. But we would surely have advantage.
No, I mean, just talk to them. I don't know why they're dressed as pirates.
You can go talk to
I
them.
don't know why they're
Yeah.
dressed as pirates.
Yeah, we'll just talk to them.
I will say that I
yeah.
know you started this outside of the table, but in order to have that interaction between your characters, and they're already sus to you being there, they're catching some of this. I'll just let you know that Phocyonis is coming.
Wait, they can come out of the game and hear us
stage
above the
whisper.
table? Fuck, that's
No,
highly
because you can't pull out and go, "Hey, let's go and make this entire world."
Right. Low key spy with a sex ed lesson there. Fucking okay.
You had a quick conversation about what are we going to do, but then you were starting to talk about imitating your mum, which is Phocyonis talking about what he would do. I'm just saying, like, you can't go and disconnect and do a complete plan
No, Zach, go
above the
talk to
table
them.
to then come in.
Alright,
Come
I
on.
just reveal myself. I go,
Oh, well, come on, you want to make friends? Like, off you go.
yeah, hi guys. Let's go it on.
So Zachary is
Are you in the shadows
confidently.
still or no?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Oh, thank God.
With that.
Sorry, did you step out or are
It's-
you just talking from the shadows?
No, fuck. Yeah, it will step out.
Yeah. Okay. So is it just Zachary who's coming out saying that?
No, I'll
"G'day,
come out with
how's
him.
it going?" All right. And
G'day.
Phocyonis?
I'm staying in the closet. No, I mean,
All right. I was more than happy for you to do your mum imitations. It was just the
I thought that was good, but apparently not.
It is something you can do, but it was just the like pulling up to make an entire plan was a bit too much for
Okay, fair enough.
for the actual role playing game. All right. So the definite startlement as you guys come out, you see that the two figures are very similarly dressed. One has an eye patch, the one that's off to your left. The other one doesn't. But other than that, they are quite similarly attired, build. Like the goblins, you've seen that there's not a lot of difference between those when you've seen them in groups, and these two male humanoids are definitely cut from the same cloth. And the one who had actually noted that there were some noises coming from the hallway. Hi, okay, hey, who the fuck are you?
We're crawlers. Are you guys crawlers as well, or what? Sorry, we never met people who are up for a conversation down here before.
So the one
Normally
who's
we
off to
kill people.
sorry, you go.
Normally we
Phocyonis.
fucking people shit up.
The with Zachary's kind of intro and calm tone, the one who was off to the left who noted you just sort of puffs his chest out a bit and go, no, guards we are, no crawlers.
Oh, God, what are you
Important
guys?
business. But
What do you got?
then peers at fucking go, how did you get past the big lass?
Right. Well, you mean my mum?
Just puzzlement from both of them, like not quite sure
At that
how
point,
to take
I sort
that.
of hold up the red collar to sort of go and indicate that perhaps, I wish I had the tooth still. Fuck it.
Didn't you get two of them?
Yeah, you got two of them.
I
Yeah,
thought I left one behind.
You did, but you had two.
You
You
picked up
did
two
leave
at the
one
beginning.
behind, but in the interest of ruling of fun, I am happy for you to have the tooth because that sounds like going well.
Okay, then I pull out the tooth and go, see? Look at the family resemblance, and give a big toothy grin.
the faces of these two guys just visibly blanched. Like there was real kind of confusion, but they clearly recognize what that is, and have some real reaction to how you may have gotten a hold of it. Very pale.
Yeah. Oh, have you met my mum?
Your mum. Your mum, you say? Yeah, like classy lady.
I mean, it's okay. You can say what you really think.
How many of you did you eat? Did she eat?
Yeah,
What?
there's a massive pile of goblins in there. They're all dead.
Fuck, he looks over at the guy opposite who is, you could hear the whispered conversation but couldn't see, and go, that's where the little green fuckers went. Fuck. And he started to say something else, but kind of pulls himself off like that conversation and what he was about to say, and just almost like zipping his mouth shut.
Do you guys need help with something?
No,
No, you're fine.
we're good.
Are you sure?
Nothing to see here.
We're good with things.
Move it along.
Moving along. Which way?
No,
I
Yeah.
feel like there's something janky
I thought
going
you was
on here.
guarding something.
All right.
At this point, with you, they both just looked at you, Alia. What the fuck is that? Like, because like all of these reactions you've gotten, the fact that and how you look, you are overlooked or mistaken for a pet a lot of the time until either you're noticed walking upright or you speak, and the attention has now been very much directed, and confusion is replacing some of that fear, although that it is still there, because Poccionus is still there holding that tooth up to his mouth with both arms, bigger than his head.
What are you looking at?
Jeez.
I don't know. What
What's
are
up,
you?
dude?
Look
Oh.
at something else. Either that or take a
He's
picture.
a
It lasts
raccoon.
longer.
She's just a raccoon from Earth. She's one of those animals that got sentience for some reason. I don't. But we've seen other animals that didn't.
Very
get
good shot with an
sentience.
arrow too.
Just blank looks of incomprehension. Like,
Right.
as you've noticed too, sometimes that when there's certain things you go into of, like talking about the Earth and the parts of the crawl, this is something you have noted without any kind of
Mm,
extra perception being required, that the
Right.
conversation is obviously stilted enough at times that even the limited intelligence in this party picks up on it.
Alright, so yeah, we're just exploring this whole dungeon, right? You wouldn't happen to know where like some more treasure is, or
Or
anything?
maybe an exit.
Oh,
We know where the
no.
exit is. No.
No, wouldn't know anything. Wouldn't know anything about that. Us
So what are you guarding?
and eyes darting.
Oh, I'm gonna go up and sniff this guy just to like make him way more confused. I can
Oh,
just
lick him.
picture it.
Please tell me you're gonna lick him.
I don't know. We'll see how
So
it plays out.
Alia moves up. Actually, I will say you're actually occupying your space because you can, and sniffing around. Like these guys are clearly uncomfortable, and a little bit
I want to know what they're
confused
hiding.
and
God.
bewildered as to what the fuck is going on. And maybe some other things as well, but you haven't quite picked up on that level of emotion. But the weapons still aren't drawn. Like your party is covered in blood, clearly well armed. A very weird, strange-looking bunch, from a raccoon to a dude in a tuxedo to a half orc carrying a giant tooth and talking about the giant that was in this room being his mum. Like there's a fair bit of discombobulation going on here, and now there's a raccoon just sniffing like all around this gentleman to the left. What are you actually trying to suss out, Alia, so I know what we're
He's
doing
hiding
here?
something, and I want to know what it is.
All right. Can you do just give me a straight perception check for that
Be
area, because you're sniffing around. Sorry, Egg?
insight is usually.
Well,
for...
are you trying to? Are you looking for something specific, or are you sussing out, like, looking to establish whether he's lying?
Oh no, he's straight up lying. I'm trying to find out why.
Okay, then insight.
Why?
Yeah, give me the insight, so that, because you've got that really strong suspicion. You as Racer might be confident that he's lying. You as Alia is suspicious. 7, like, you can smell the scent on him, that, you know, those times when Ivy or her friends have been maybe a little bit less than genuine. You're familiar with that scent, and you're not quite sure, but you think that this guy's a bit sus, or it could just be, you know, he needs a shower, but you think he's a little bit sus.
No. So if there's no treasure here, you wouldn't mind if we have a look around it?
Oh, no, I absolutely. And as he says that, you see that he, not too subtly, just sort of pushes his weight back against the wall. And so does the other guy. You note that they haven't moved from where they're standing, and they're now kind of, you've been given the okay to have a look around and encouragement, and they've just sort of moved back up against their respective walls.
All right. Let's have a look around. This is...
Yep. So
All right,
where are you
so
going to go?
it's like a mirror in the middle of the room. Have a look at that.
Yeah. So you look at the mirror, and it's not, doesn't have that glow, but it looks really consistent. I don't need to get you to roll. You've seen enough of these, and you had a really good look in the starting room, Zachary. It looks really consistent with the other ones that seem to have been there to create that light source that is now permeating the dungeon without any kind of anything further being done. But you can investigate it more closely if you would like to.
No. Just
I will give you, actually. Can I get you, because you are a little bit, yeah, you are very sus on these guys.
Oh my god, I only just realized my Drake has dark vision.
Can you give me, on that mirror,
No.
can you give me just an investigation check, please, for Zachary? And we'll see how high he rolls.
Once I respec to a wizard, I'm never rolling investigation again.
Probably not. We'll see.
I got 19 anyway. But...
Beautiful. So, under the guise of looking at the mirror, you have a decent look around the room, and especially with things you've been aware of from your toilet studying of the map, you actually see, Zachary, that there is at least, I'm just going to use the red dot to mark it. You can see that directly ahead of you, like one more step and you would probably set it off from your experience. There is one of those gems for an arrow trap, and then off to your left, where one of those kind of display type mummies, sarcophaguses up against the wall are, you can see that now telltale rays section of one of those parts of the floor that opened and closed, and like cost you some time up the hallway. The mirror itself, though, doesn't appear to be anything special about that whatsoever. And there is, it's not hidden. There is actually a doorway now that you're up again. There is a door behind the guy who's right next to you. So what looked like a little bit like a wall, now that you're front on, it's actually a door that he's leaning up against.
But he's like leaning up against it, like blocking it.
Yeah.
Are we going to disarm trap? Because that'd be hilarious to see their reaction. Especially if you do it with fireball.
I did tell them I was a good shot.
Yeah,
I mean,
can I like...
True.
Yeah, I go like, Alia, there's some gems to shoot. And I
Alright.
like step to the side.
Bring Alia up where she can see the one gem and also the foot pad, which she's very intimately familiar with.
Should I jump across that?
Shoot the thing.
So Alia,
no,
directly
shoot
ahead of
them.
you, you can see the gem.
Yeah.
You can sort of see, because you know they're there, the glow of one around the corner. So you're pretty confident there's a faint glow of a second one, but you can definitely see one, and you can see the pressure pad on the floor as well.
Okay, do you guys want me to jump across first?
Nah,
Or shoot
shoot
the
it.
arrows?
Shoot the
You're having this
arrow.
conversation. These guys just looking, going, "What?" Like that white pale, like the pale white faces are just going whiter and whiter as they're listening to this conversation and they're watching what you guys are doing, and like the smug grin that one of them had is now slowly being replaced with just terror.
Alright, I'll go the one directly up from me.
Yep. All right. Take your shot. If they're a little gem, they got fuck all DC. Yeah. So with practice precision, that arrow just strikes center of the gem, cracks it in half, and the arrow just remains sticking out of the wall. And you just hear this faint, "Oh fuck," from one of them. You think it's the one nearest you, but it's pretty quiet.
Um,
So yeah, you want to get the one around the corner as well?
yeah, I'll take a step forward and look down.
Yeah, all right. The second one, hang on. I'll just move this so you can see it. I didn't actually put the second one in there. You can see it very clearly. Same as before. Take your
Alright.
shot.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Pew.
Oh my gosh. This time, facing the guy next to the door who had the "oh fuck" and not breaking eye contact, you hold your bow over your shoulder without looking, stringing it and pulling the arrow back upside down, and the gem behind you just shatters. The one around the corner didn't see any of this. He just can see his mate's reaction, who almost looks like he's about to wet himself.
Alright, who wants to go? Fuck
Alright.
it,
I
I'll
wanted
do
to
it.
go for it.
I'll
Alright.
jump across that. Jump across there.
All right. Again, just give me the roll so we don't, actually, no, I don't want to waste the time with it. You're not going to, unlikely for you to roll 2 1s in a row. So just effortlessly, you light step across. You can inspect that mummy, but it's just that plasterboard. But you've definitely shown the guy who's right in front of you that you know there's a trap there and that you have dodged it effortlessly. And there's enough of a ledge for you to land on. What do you want to do
Alright.
now?
I'll jump back.
All right. So you're back where you started.
Alright.
And he is clearly shitting bricks. Like that smugness, the encouragement from his friend to look around has drastically faded.
Are you
You know what?
guys gonna tell me what the hell is going on now?
Yeah, do you know what's behind that door you're leaning against? Can you just like move out of the way, please?
Bro, did I mention that she was my mum?
The raccoon? That's from the guy who didn't see any of this. Like he's still bewildered over in the corner.
You're fucking funny.
Can I get I'm gonna get you guys to team up here. So can I get Alia, can you make a intimidation check with advantage? And Zachary, can you make a persuasion? Double pronged attack. You've basically done the good cop, bad cop on this guy who's leaning up against the door.
Wait, I don't get to make intimidation?
We're not up to you yet.
Okay, cool.
So it's persuasion with advantage? Oh no.
Yeah, I'll give you persuasion with advantage. Yeah. With everything else that's
You
going
gave the
on, this
wrong
guy's
things to the
shitting
wrong
broken
people.
glass.
Should have been the other way around.
19?
Yeah, and it's like that wasn't the wrong thing. You were the intimidating one who's going, "You're gonna tell me what's behind that fucking door." So
Fair.
with those 2 rolls balanced out, this guy who is just, he's basically shitting bricks at this point. Just I can do you one better. And fumbles around with, like, inside his tunic, pulls out this this
The key.
key. He drops it when he bends over to try and like pick it up, and he's fumbling through it. It's not the right one. Alia, as he is bending over, and he's like, there's a small puddle of urine just forming around his feet that has clearly run down the inside of his leather pants. You notice the lock that is on that door is really light. You couldn't see it, and Zachary, you can see this as well. It's very clear. It's huge, and the lock is ornate. It's silver. It's got a slight shimmer to it, and it has on there a very clear, stylized, glowing engraving of a wren.
A wren.
A wren.
Like a bird?
Yeah, like the bird. That will hopefully resonate with Alia. But he's fumbling around like he is desperately keen to please you guys. He is absolutely shitting himself.
The bird.
Was it that tattoo we got in the land, the thing between?
I got a tattoo.
Yeah, when you walk past the that one shop. Do you remember?
No.
All right.
Okionis, I will give you the, because you have in your chat, but you do see some of this, and you can see that lock as well, with the big silver lock and the picture of the wren engraved on it, with the guy fumbling around now, digging keys out of a puddle of his own urine.
Hey, Peace Boy, what's with the picture of the wren on the lock?
You know.
Oh, it's here. We've just got to. But he's not even coherent. I will give you, just because it's 1:45. Fokionis and Alia, do you guys remember the big red button that you pushed?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember what happened after the big red button was pushed?
We got a key?
It came down
We
on
did?
six wings.
Fucking hell. Alright, which one of us has the key?
You?
I'll leave that with
You?
Alia, now
Holder
that
of all keys?
Fokionis has mentioned that. Now Fokionis, as that's happening, is turned back to the guys in his corner with his giant tooth.
Alright,
Who's
I'll
very
go into my
confused.
I'll go into my bag and pull out the key.
We'll come back to you. It's Fokionis, your friend with the tooth.
Fucking tattoo, what the
Yes.
fuck were you on about?
That
Hey,
conversation occurs in the background.
A Desperado Club in the world between. When we walked past it, things showed up on that. Can't remember what we got.
All right, we'll come back to you guys in a sec. Fokionis,
Yes.
tooth and guy who's none too subtly leaning up against the wall behind him.
Hey, bro, are you going to move or what?
Sorry, I missed that. Are you going to what?
Are you going to move or should I move you? Or you can yeet. It's your choice.
Give me an intimidation check, please. No
Right.
advantage. He
Oh,
hasn't
come-
quite experienced all the
Got a
other
tooth.
things that. Yeah, but he still hasn't quite got a concept. Like, you've talked about your mum, then there's a raccoon, and then there's. None of this has quite clearly been pieced
Come on.
together for him. He's very confused.
There's 20. Scare the shit out of him.
He just shaking goes, no, I'll move. Sorry, nothing to see.
You move.
And with a 20, he is shitting himself so much that he
He shits
actually
himself.
stumbles into that wall that's behind him that was closed, and the stones just fall inward. A now familiar pattern that you're used to, but in his hurry to get out of the way, he's actually not just gotten out of your way, he's also knocked a wall inward, revealing a small corridor behind.
Excellent.
All right, back to you two. The guy's now he's reaching back into his tunic, and he's pulled out a ring of keys, and he's now flipping through them. They've fallen in the urine at least once. He's not even paying attention, like they're dripping. Do you have anything you'd like to do, or are you just letting this scene unfold?
Oh no, I don't want to watch this scene anymore. I'll go ruffling through my bag for the key.
All right. You have it there. You've got a key that is marked with a silver ring.
I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder and ask him very, very nicely to move.
And just the touch of your arm is and he drops the key ring and just sort of on all fours scurries into the corner, leaving his miscellaneous pile of keys in the puddle that's formed now outside, and leaves a little trail from his ankle. And he's now just kind of crouched in that corner. He was more than happy to get out of your way.
I'm gonna, unfortunately, have to step in his fucking piss and put the key in the door.
You do, and you. Oh, sorry, Zachary.
Raccoon piss is worse, isn't it?
I'm a lady now. Shut your hole.
And this same raccoon that you have seen, like, just with joy leaping into dumpsters and bins and just throwing piles of what you would consider just shit and garbage into her sack, one item after another. You see daintily, like, tiptoeing, trying to like get through the piss. She reaches over and grabs the bandana off the guy's head, lays it out on the floor. It soaks up some of it, but really it's a mission impossible. But little bit of a barrier between you and it. And just to reach the lock up on tippy toes, you insert that key into the lock, and it disappears completely inside, turns, and the door swings open. We'll get back to what you see in a moment. I will say to you guys, with what you can see there with the what the guy has dropped, that there is no key in his panic state. There is no key on that key ring that's sitting in the puddle of pee that even remotely resembles the one that you used to open this door.
What door was it going to open then?
Oh, no.
All right. So you scared the living piss out of him. The door has opened. Fokionis, you've got a doorway open ahead of you. Ali, you've got one ahead of you. I'm pretty confident that we can resolve these last couple of little bits before midnight. So I will say, what would you guys like to do? I think we've got enough time to just keep going.
Who goes first?
Back to you, Fokionis, because Ali has just opened that door, and you've all three of you seen the key just sort of disappear into that lock and the glow fade, and it swung open and receded into the door itself. And Fokionis, you've got an empty hallway ahead of you, what looks like a doorway down to the right. It's close enough from where you're standing, from where the guy knocked the wall in, that you can see it quite clearly.
Just go through.
I don't know. These blokes, they're not trusting, so maybe I want to investigate before I step. Can I roll the tooth?
You absolutely can roll the tooth. And it bounces down. I'm not going to make you roll for this. It's such a small hallway. You roll it down. It's a big, huge tooth. It's hardy. It bounces off the walls, rattles to a close. Like, it doesn't go into the doorway because it's kind of jars off it like a corner pocket on a pool table. Nothing happens. The tooth is just resting.
Okay.
Giant tooth at the end of the hallway.
Make my way down said hallway.
And the guy beside you is just watching, like, just stunned fear and confusion as to what the fuck is happening. All right, so down you go. So as you get there, I will come back to you, but you can see now in this room, in the center of, there seems to be like a bit of a dirty matted bedroll. There's sort of some debris beside a chair that is in the center of the room, but the chair is empty. But that chair does have like what you're familiar with in what you've seen on like history texts. And even though you weren't a great student, you were fascinated by executions and electric chairs. And this looks really similar without the electric helmet to a chair with all of the straps on it currently open that were used for that purpose. So that's what you can currently see from the doorway, Fokionis.
Right.
Alia, back to you. Looking into that ornate, the ornate locker sunk into the door is soundlessly swung open. The room is quite empty, a little bit of, items stacked around the corner, but the the thing that stands out the most is there is a table directly ahead of you, a mirror behind it, and on that table on holders there is four items, each looking different. You can see very clearly from where you're standing that three of them appear to be different versions of braces that would be worn on your wrists and forearms. And the final item is a staff of some kind, and they're resting in holders, almost like display holders for samurai swords and pieces of armor in museums. Those four things are on the table ahead of you.
Can I investigate the room before I enter it?
Yep. So paying a bit more attention to what you just saw, I'll give you this because you've seen so many of them. Directly behind the table, faintly glowing behind that mirror that looks a little bit different to the ones you've seen before, there's actually a very clear red glow of a gem, and an arrow trap facing directly at you in the doorway.
Okay, I'm gonna fire an arrow at it.
Yeah, take your shot. Yeah, fuck me. Arrow just shatters the glass, shatters the gem, actually goes all the way through the wall, and you see it split one of the arrows in the arrow trap in two. Fuck me. It's sorted. And
Okay.
and not only that, and that sets off like a little mini chain reaction, and bits of shit fly around the room, and then another arrow trap that you hadn't seen sets off and shoots out a rain of arrows directly across in front of you to shatter harmlessly across the wall, directly where you would have been standing if you had stood in front of the table to look at those items. They appear unharmed.
Okay, I'm gonna enter the room now.
All right. So you hear all of this, Zachary. You see a little bit of it from the angle you're on, especially the second trap set off. And Alia steps in. And so
Ali is impressive. You're so cool.
the guy who hearing you say this, the guy who's curled in the corner just gives this little whimper and squeak of fear. Like that, all of this shit is just their whole reality is tumbling down around them, and what they thought was going to happen is just, and how their day was going to go is not how it has gone at all.
Yeah, don't get on that raccoon's bad side.
And just
I'll grab the items from the table.
All right, so you grab three braces and a staff, and we will deal with the identification
Yeah, well,
of those. But you
later.
can see, yeah, I'll leave that up so it's what's there. It's hard to manage with that with Foundry, but we'll do our best with it. So you've scooped everything that you can see in that room. I'll come back to you if you want to do any further like digging and investigation, or if Zachary would like to. But Zach, you did see Alia scoop this loot. This time it's her turn.
Yeah, I got this lot, bitch.
Just it disappears so fast, nearly as fast as you with a
Zachary
coffin full of
forlorn in
dollars.
the background, hat in hand, no loot.
And Vokionis, you hear like the clattering of these things happen, but you're not too stressed because you can hear Zachary having this conversation and the whimpering of the guards outside. You're pretty confident nothing too amiss has happened. So you can see the things that are in this room that are in the purview. What would you like to do?
So there's a door there, yes?
Yep. The door is open. The tooth, like just the
Yeah.
bump the tooth gave it made it swing open. It wasn't locked.
So yeah,
It kind of
all
appears to be
I
a
can
bit. It
really
appears to be
see
broken
is
off the hinges.
the remnants of a zappy chair.
Yeah, but no electricity. Top is just to give you like the description of what it looks like. It's essentially a chair with leather restraining straps for the arms and legs, and
Right.
it's very solidly built and bolted to the floor, or
Got you.
recessed into the floor.
Okay, well, let's investigate the room. He says, hopefully that this is not going to end badly for him.
All right. So going in and give me your investigation roll.
12?
Yeah, you needed a 10. It was a low DC on this one. Thank goodness for you. So poking
Alright.
around and initially being a bit distracted by that chair, you pay a bit more attention to other things that are around the room, and in that, please ignore the bedroll. That's just there for me to drop the items in. And for the flavor. So in the corner, you can see this really scrappy, tattered bit of blanket that appears to have been used for bedding in this room, in addition to the chair. And at the base of the chair, you see what looks to be the remnants of a broken set of goggles that look almost identical to the ones that Mish wore. They are at the base of the chair and just tucked almost completely out of view underneath the scrappy blanket. You see what is what looks to be part of a music box. Really strange, and it stands out as a weird thing to find in this room.
Right. Well, let's go to the music box.
Yep. Pick it up. You've got part of a music box. Really unusual item to have
Right.
found.
Is there the turny bit? Like, does it make any sound? No.
Oh, the piece that you've found appears to be like the lid and the hinge.
Yeah.
And it's got like a symbol on the top of it looks like like the old fashioned harps that an angel, like, you know, stylized cartooning that they would play
Got you.
on the lid and hinge. And then at the base of the chair
Right.
is that kind of
Is the-
cracked set of goggles.
Well, let's grab those as well.
Yep. So you're just gonna need to make a custom note of those. You've got a broken set of goggles and a music box lid.
Be some loot, Alia style.
Yeah, he said you don't know about that yet. And with where you're currently at, with having cleared out those rooms, and it's about to tick over midnight, that's where we're going to leave it tonight with everyone where they currently stand. And at this stage, I am good for next Monday if you guys are, but we'll stay in comms off air. But that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Cool.
Cool.
Well done. The most. I was so keen for you guys to try and get across that trap with your arms linked behind you. Other wall walk.
Would have
Oh,
worked.
Yeah, was there
Oh.
like another switch on the other mirror on, like the first mirror on the other side?
no, it was
No,
only at the
it's
far. So you
just-
had to
it was-
actually get someone all the way across and actually look for it to kind of
Okay.
terminate that.
Alright,
You could have looked, but you wouldn't have mattered what you'd rolled. If you'd rolled a natural 20, I had a plan of what you would notice, but you couldn't actually turn it off from this, the closest end. You had to navigate that all way in true Team Chaos fashion. Oh, Zachary's going to come over towards Fokionis, is he, after seeing Alia?
Yeah.
Is that where he's going to start
we're
the next
best buddies.
start
Right.
the
I've
next
got
one?
custom
I don't
items.
know. We'll just
Broken
like
music
head out
box,
of the
busted box.
dungeon now, aren't we? Yeah,
Well-
we'll go to the portal. Yeah. But
Let's leave you where you currently are, because you've also potentially got those two scared shitless humanoids in the entryway, as you last saw them, at least. Like, they're both, you haven't, if you stay where you are, Zachary, you were keeping them both in view. Fokionis has disappeared down one end. You saw Alia looting like a crazy person, some pretty cool looking shit, after doing her Robin Hood or John Wick style shit with the traps. And we'll pick up in those relative spots that you're in, and where you guys go next.
But
Next
just
Monday.
in my inventory, the javelin that I used to prop open the door is no longer with us. Yeah, so I should get rid of it from my
broke.
inventory.
Yeah.
Oh,
it-
so
it's-
are
it's
we
Yeah,
are we
cool.
on for next Monday? Considering
Um,
it's
at-
Easter Monday.
Yeah, at this stage, I should be back, but I don't know where you guys, like, your movements are, but I work Tuesday. So the plan is to be back, but I will let you guys know if we end up coming back Tuesday morning rather than Monday night. But at this stage, yeah, good for it, unless you guys have things on, in which case we can, move it to the following one, but I'm good for it at this stage.
I will need to
Me
confirm.
Yeah, no worries. Let's sort that out off stream.
And I need that soundbite for next.
Yeah, I have ripped it. I just need to separate it from its imagery.
Cool.
We can keep chatting. I'm just going to say, guys and girls
Definitely.
in chat, we have ticked over midnight, so I'm not going to raid out. I am just going to bail. But YouTube will have all of whatever comes next, and otherwise we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for the hangs, thanks for the chat, and thanks for the entertainment. Lily in chat as Ivy is still in the body bag. But until
Great.
next week, peace out. Love you all. Thanks for the hang, everybody.
Boy.
Oh, I just read what.
you just got caught up on the
Flirt
shit
with
that Ivy was saying, or that Lily was saying. I nearly lost it twice during the stream because I just popped up because I was using the stream window to make sure I had the map in the right place because I keep forgetting to move the map, and I was reading the shit she was saying. I click them, flirt with.
Oh, I didn't read it at
Confuse
all.
'em.
So dumb.
Oh my god,
What'd she
it
say?
was so good.
Ivy's
I
still
can't
dead.
remember what the soundbite was. What's that?
I know your address. Too.
Yeah, yes, you can. Or you could just look in the DM that you sent me to play it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I can't remember what it was.
Bathroom
If you're
tattoos.
doing them, and I think you will, Dana, because you know all this audio shit.
I
Just
saw
make
your
sure it goes
message,
through
yeah.
your audio input because I have I have to have my desktop audio off, or all of your voices go
Yeah,
through
no,
twice.
I'll
and
add it
echo.
to my soundboard over there so that it
Yeah.
should come up, not unlike.
Because I know you did some test ones and you did the
Like that.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to replace one of these ones on with the sound that has been requested, and perhaps
Beautiful.
more once we establish that this works. I don't know.
All right.
I could
Can't
start
wait to see
something.
what
This is
goes next.
literally he's taking a sound from a TikTok made by somebody else. So
No, it's just a sound bite from somewhere.
It's a sound bite.
Oh,
Good
it'll
with
take
that.
you guys a while to figure out where it's from too. I guarantee it.
I feel like I want to watch this again now, just so I get Ivy's chats as they come. Like Lily's
So
chat.
you'll have to watch the VOD replay for that because the YouTube doesn't have them.
Oh.
But some of the shit she was putting in there, I kid you not, it is worth the read. It nearly made me lose. Like, it was almost those moments where you guys are reading the chat in Video Ninja and you just start losing your shit and I have no idea what the fuck you're laughing at. That was nearly me when I read a couple of those. Like,
Hey.
You need to have the chat window somewhere, like in that little box underneath you. Have the Twitch chat.
So
well, I normally have the window open so I can see the chat. It's the video one that I normally lose track of.
No, so you can have it there. So when you upload the VOD onto YouTube, you can have the chat there.
Oh, I did. I have played around with it, but it just looks ugly with the way the colors sit on this this overlay. It doesn't look great, and I also, because I'm not addressing it while the stream's going, I find it a bit disjointed when I'm watching the video back that, so many things have come through chat and they're just being ignored. And it's because I kind of have to focus in on what's happening here. And I don't want to have a verbal interaction with the chat because that makes no sense in the YouTube recording. So yeah, that's why I did it. And I put the rolls over the top. And it also means that I can actually make
I'm the only one that
bigger.
used it tonight. What's going on?
I put a couple of messages in. Bake put a couple of messages in.
No, I
in
mean the
Twitch chat.
rolls. Nobody else used.
Oh no, I use one in dndpets.
I'm trying to.
Zach, you finally got to do your persuasion.
Yay. That's why I didn't win a long rest because I knew it was coming. Yeah,
Sorry, you're right.
My plan for next week is like we just go through the portal, like use all the money we made to get Ivy resurrected. And long rest. And so we
long rest.
Respec, yeah.
Respec, look out.
You can when you were talking and I was reading up on the charisma type roles, I'm like, okay, well, there's a way that this can go because these guys have been sitting there since they've been there since the start of the dungeon, just like the dungeon's been cleared out and then you found the pile of bodies that Fox, Mama Fock had taken care of. And I'm glad I read up on it because that was a situation like, okay, well, this makes sense. I didn't know it was called charisma until I started reading, but I thought it was just called persuasion. So I'm glad you at least had the opportunity with those guys and whatever else might come that ended up being resolved without a fight because they were scared shitless.
That was fun.
Yeah.
You guys navigating that hallway though. Fucking everything. Gold. Absolute gold. And I was more than happy to give you that second tooth because just that visual. it's all I was feeling like, nah, he can have it. He can miraculously have revisionist history and have the second tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I found Spa's address.
Whoa.
Well, you have posted me stuff, so that's fair. I don't need bombs in the mail. The girls might open it, and then I'll be in deep shit, and you'll be in deep shit. Glitter bombs before we get terms of service. There's no real threat to my life or safety. YouTube
Only
won't
threat to
take
your
this
carpet.
down. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we're not. You're not
Glitter.
live.
Exactly.
As a person who's married to someone that runs an early childhood center as the boss, glitter is everywhere, always, everywhere, always, everywhere.
I mean, at least you don't have a lot of splaining to do if you end up with glitter all over yourself. Like, I mean, I guess if it comes on it, if you get it on you at home, maybe if you come in from a trip to the cricket and you're covered in glitter, you might have some
Yeah,
splaining
no,
to do.
yeah, that's no.
All right, you guys, we might pull the pin there. Stay in touch in the Discord, and we'll figure out whether Monday's a goer. But if not, we'll just resume the following one after the Easter long weekend. I'm good with that either way. I know lots of people have Easter plans, so I wouldn't be surprised if any of you guys are away. That's all good. Just let us know.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to bed now.
That's all right. Good times. You guys did
Yeah.
awesome. Very, very entertaining. See you.